And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. We got a great show for you today. As always, we are live every single day at noon Eastern. If you want to watch live, head over to twitch.tv/takesbyfans. If you want to watch but not live, head over to our YouTube channel, Takes by Fans. We post all of our shows and clips of the show there on a daily basis. And if you just want to listen, we are on podcasting apps, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. So however you want to watch or listen, we've got you covered multiple ways. Alrighty, today is a big all Monday. The draft has come to an end. It ended Saturday, but today's the Monday, the first official big day. A lot of shows that don't go live on the weekends. Not us. I mean, we're live here every day, folks. If you have not heard, but this is the week that the mainstream media is going to start breaking down, the NFL draft and all that. But we started that yesterday, so a little bit of a jump on the competition. Yeah, a little bit. So we're going to continue on grading the drafts team by team, breaking them down by division. Yesterday we did the AFC East. Gave the Jets an A. Did we give them an A+? We gave them an A. Did I give them an A+? Oh, I did. Yes, sir. I really loved it, and I did love it that much. Yes, sir. A+ for the Jets last night. So we'll see if another team in the AFC North can get an A+. So we'll be grading the AFC North's teams draft today. Breaking down the NBA from last night, doing the moneymaker for tonight's action, and talking about the sports stories of the day. So let's jump right into it. Also, before we start, I do want to just kind of mention, now that the draft is officially over, Richard Sherman, he should be getting signed if a team wants him. So watch out for Richard Sherman getting signed soon, and potentially with the Jets as well. We were kind of tracking that Richard Sherman re-teaming up with Robert Saleh with the Jets. We've been kind of following that saga a little bit. So be on the lookout for that, and when it breaks, we will definitely be letting you know where Richard Sherman goes. But let's just jump right into it today. And man, oh man, we went a couple of weeks with no Deshaun Watson news, but we get another report here today. Many people in league circles believe Deshaun Watson won't be playing football in 2021. Ooh, so these allegations seem to be catching up with them. Obviously seem to be legitimate since there's been just so many. And nobody's we've only seen one lawsuit get dropped when they had to reveal their name. So it seems like these are kind of legit allegations. But let's see what we get in this article. Anything specific here of why many people in league circles do not believe Deshaun Watson plays football in 2021. So let's see what we get here. When the offseason first began, all eyes were on the Houston Texans after their superstar quarterback requested a trade from Houston and vowed to never play another down for the team. But after more than 20 women came forward and accused Watson of some form of sexual harassment/assault, there's a belief that not only will Watson not be playing for the Texans in 2021, but may not be playing for anyone. And then we get a quote here by SportsCenter and Adam Schefter. There are people in league circles who believe Deshaun Watson will not play this season. There are people who believe his career in Houston is over. So that's coming from Adam Schefter there. Obviously, basically the most reliable source of NFL information. NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell to ESPN last Thursday during the NFL draft that the league is monitoring the situation. Quote, we're obviously following that and looking at that ourselves. There are important steps that we will be taking as part of our personal conduct policy. When we get to that point, we will certainly make a decision. So that's all the article gives us. So real no great information, just kind of Adam Schefter reporting it, which is still a great source, but a little bit more, would have been nice. So man, oh man, Deshaun Watson, truly unfortunate here. A great talent. I mean, trying to just make that Texans team, that organization just work because it was just so garbage. But now he's caught up in this sexual assault, harassment mess. And it's not looking real good. So we'll definitely keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. We haven't heard any other kind of, lawsuits, so I guess that's good. No other women are coming forward. I mean, it stopped at like 20. What would it stop at? Like 22, 24? So, it hasn't gone over like 30 and 40 and 50 because that would have been awful if it just kept coming and coming and coming and coming. But it's stopping here about 20 plus, and we'll see what Deshaun Watson's going to kind of do here. But, yeah, according to Adam Schefter, he's probably not going to be playing. And the Texans ended up drafting a quarterback, not early. I think it was like third round. Let me get that real quick. Let's see this real quick. Where was it? Where did they draft the quarterback? Obviously not one of the big names. No kind of Justin Fields, Mac Jones, nothing like that. But a third rounder, I believe. Where are the Texans? Here we go. Alrighty. Yeah, they didn't even have a first-round pick or a second-round pick, but with their first pick in this year's draft, they get Davis Mills from Stanford, which we didn't really like. We actually broke down Davis Mills in our NFL draft prospect countdown. We were looking at an NFL draft prospect every single day, and while we were watching Davis Mills, we got kind of sidetracked by Simi Fioki, and we didn't even finish up watching Davis Mills because he was kind of not that impressive, and we were more impressive with the wide receivers than we were with the quarterback. So, not very good here. Texans, they did use their first pick of the draft since they didn't have that first or second round. Third round, their first pick. Davis Mills, Stanford quarterback. So maybe this is all coming to fruition. Maybe this is true that Deshaun Watson will not play because the Texans just drafted a quarterback with their first pick. Alrighty, let's move on here. Ron Rivera says that Washington had big conversations about trading up to draft a quarterback. Interesting. We saw, Taylor Heinicke performed decently well last season. Enough for us to kind of be like, all right, he can play. We think he can kind of be decent in this league and definitely kind of earned another kind of true shot at being a starting quarterback for an entire season. That's what Washington had last season. And then this offseason, they bring in Ryan Fitzpatrick from Miami to just kind of, push Taylor Heinicke a little bit more. Maybe give Ryan Fitzpatrick his last year, his maybe kind of, final send-off with a full starting season if he kind of wins the quarterback competition. But while they were drafting, they saw some quarterbacks fall. Mac Jones fell out of the top 10. Thank goodness. I mean, we were never buying Mac Jones going number 3 to the 49ers. So I'm definitely glad that, we were on, record. You go to any one of our shows, we basically said it like every day for the last 73 days, folks, that Mac Jones is not going number 3. No way. So I'm definitely glad that we got that right. Went down to the Patriots. Once again, exactly what we said should happen. The Patriots are the only team that we trust in that would be able to develop Mac Jones into a possible good quarterback if he has it in him. That's why we want him to go to the Patriots, because we saw what they did with Tom Brady. 7th round coming out of the draft, nothing great. So, all right, but let's go back here with Washington. Let's see if we get anything here with these quotes of the article. So here we go. Washington coach Ron Rivera joined NFL Network's Good Morning Football on Monday in the aftermath of the draft. He said that while there were discussions about potentially trading up for a quarterback, the club didn't want to part with the assets it would have taken to leap up the board. Quote here from Ron Rivera. It was a big conversation we had, talking about the quarterback position, talking about the young men that we really liked a lot, but we also talked about an opportunity to solidify some other things. Perfect. And we dealt too much draft capital. We lose that opportunity, Ron Rivera said. We just thought maybe if we slipped to the right number, we could go ahead and do it. So there was a conversation, but we really felt strongly about just holding and just trying to fill the rest of the needs, and that's why we've been loving Ron Rivera. His attitude, he's like, we don't need the best players to win. We will win whatever we have. We're not going to go out and overpay for a guy. We're not going to go and overreach in the draft. That's just what we got from this quote right here. We're not going to go and overreach. We're not going to spend all of our draft capital because we're going to shore up our pieces other places. We've still got Taylor Heinicke and we still believe in him, so there's no reason for us to kind of jump up and sell out and get a quarterback that may or may not work in this league. So once again, Ron Rivera getting it done here in Washington. Man, oh man, what's up with these great coaches all of a sudden? Ron Rivera's been getting it done. We just fell in love with Robert Saleh because of his draft, and he's, a first-time head coach in this league. We've got Urban Meyer coming out of this league. So, yeah, we have a lot of, interesting on-field narratives going into 2021, but we also have a lot of interesting coaching narratives also going into 2021 that we can, observe and, critique every single week in, week out, and I'm definitely absolutely all about it. I love what Ron Rivera did last season, and just reading this quote, I'm loving what he's already doing this season, believing in what he's got right now at the quarterback position, Taylor Heineke, Ryan Fitzpatrick, and then just going in the draft and just shoring up everything else that needs to be shored up to have at least a chance at a successful season. This isn't really a total rebuild in Washington. It's kind of a rebuild, but also winning. They just won their division last season while rebuilding, while having, Dwayne Haskins and Taylor Heineke and Alex Smith, a new quarterback every single week. So Ron Rivera's got no interest of a hard rebuild. We're going to be rebuilding while we're winning, while we're still competitive. So I give this man 1,000% credit. So much credit here. Getting it done with the draft. Fantastic. Alrighty, anything else here? We get another quote. Anything good? Let's read it. Here we go. Rivera is thrilled that he was able to land Davis, who projects as a coverage linebacker with the speed and tenacity to be a difference maker behind Washington's scary defensive line. Quote, the nice thing about what we got is we got a young man that can run. He can play football. He's got position flex. There's a couple of spots that he could play for us. If something were to happen, he could play the third spot. We just like who he is. So once again, getting who they actually wanted, not kind of falling into the trap. Oh my goodness, Mac Jones is falling. He went number 15, folks, to the Patriots. So the Washington Redskins or the Washington football team at number 19. If another head coach here of Washington, if it wasn't Ron Rivera, could have been like, you know what, we're actually going to go for Mac Jones. We're going to get our quarterback. We're going to get our guy. And we know Mac Jones isn't even good. So Ron Rivera didn't fall for that trap. But another head coach could have fallen for that if they were with Washington. So once again, shout out to Ron Rivera making the right decisions. And man, if you're a Washington fan, what better head coach could you have really gotten? He's really panning out here, already a year in, won a division, and now is ready to kind of look to repeat that with their draft that they just had. So Ron Rivera, man, absolutely love this man. He's getting it done, folks. He's truly getting it done. Alrighty, let's move on here to, a little more dysfunctional organization, not like Washington, like we just talked about. So we all know the story about Aaron Rodgers come draft day. A lot of stories coming out about Aaron Rodgers kind of doing what Deshaun Watson did, not the sexual assault and sexual harassment, but hey, I'm not returning here. I'm not playing another down here. I am no longer with the Green Bay Packers. Can y'all trade me? I don't even want to be here anymore. So we heard a lot of that day one of the draft, and then that kind of got us thinking during our live draft show. Was it kind of Aaron Rodgers just trying to force the hand of the Green Bay Packers to draft a wide receiver or just a weapon for Aaron Rodgers in this draft? And it didn't work out because they went in defense once again, their first round pick. So once again, Aaron Rodgers doesn't get his way, but it's not like he doesn't have weapons. Devontae Adams, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Robert Tonyan, folks, they've got weapons everywhere. Aaron Jones in the backfield. So, all this of, Aaron Rodgers doesn't have the weapons, or they give him no supporting cast. What did they give Brady? And, the only reason I bring up, the comparison all the time when we talk about Aaron Rodgers is to Tom Brady is because Tom Brady did everything that, Aaron Rodgers has been put through, but worse. His coaches never really, Bill Belichick never showed affection of Tom Brady. Bill Belichick never got Tom Brady any weapons. Here, Aaron Rodgers, he's basically had Devontae Adams for, a lot of his career, so he's had the kind of great weapons. Tom Brady didn't, and he still made it work. 10 Super Bowl trips. Folks, can you just imagine that? 10 Super Bowl trips? The average play time of an NFL player is like 3 to 4 seasons, folks. Tom Brady went to 10 Super Bowls. That's at least 10 seasons. Most players in the NFL don't even play 10 seasons. So just what Tom Brady achieved is just so spectacular. So when, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers and Drew Brees, and they've got all these great coaches, and, Tom Brady had a good coach too, so maybe not add that in, but all these great, weapons and wide receivers and all of this, and then it translates to one Super Bowl. That's it for them. Aaron Rodgers won. Drew Brees won. It's just not that impressive when we're looking at Tom Brady, who overcame everything that y'all have not been able to overcome. Aaron Rodgers not getting it done in the NFC Championship game. Tom Brady just beat him head to head. Drew Brees not getting it done in the playoffs. Tom Brady just beat him head to head. So I've got no sympathy for Aaron Rodgers right here, and truly we've been saying for these last couple of days, good riddance. Let him go. If I was the Packers, I'd be like, you know what? This man's turning into way, way too big of a headache that I just want to put up with, and I would honestly let him go. If you think that you can win a ring without us, then go ahead and do it. If you think you can do what Tom Brady does, absolutely go out and do it, because we've given you the chance these last 2 seasons, going 13-3, getting to the NFC Championship games, but it's Aaron Rodgers on the field not able to get it done. So but here we go. This is the article here. Packers general manager on Aaron Rodgers trade talks. Quote, I received one call from a team Thursday night after all the news came out, and I said no. So that kind of gives, a little bit of credence to the 49ers, who, said, the general manager said, well, yeah, we thought he may be open, so we gave him a call, and they shut us down real quick. So, that's kind of confirming that story, which, in turn confirms this story. So, that story, on Thursday, the first day of the draft, it broke real early in the morning. I mean, that's all the talk. That's what all the talk was about leading up until, 8 o'clock when the draft started. But, yeah, man, Aaron Rodgers, well, let's see what this quote says. Let's see him go a little bit deeper into this quote here. So, Packers general manager Brian Gutekunst, Brian Gutekunst has been at the center of the storm. The general manager reiterated to Peter King of NBC Sports on Sunday that the club's relationship with Rodgers is not permanently damaged. Quote, no, I don't think so at all. That's my opinion, and that's the organization's opinion. We want Aaron to be our quarterback. We're pretty resolute with that. We want to leave every avenue open for that to happen. So obviously they want to have this man back. I mean, he is, a great talent. Don't get us wrong. I mean, 13-3 in the last 2 seasons. I mean, you got to give him credit, and we are giving him credit, but don't come at us with the greatest of all time, and don't come at us that, he's got this kind of, this right to kind of come out here and, try to kind of, force the hand of this Packers team. I mean, you've got weapons, so I don't understand what is all this crying of Aaron Rodgers is about with this Packers organization. I truly don't get it. If you want to be upset with Matt LaFleur kicking the field goal with 2 minutes left in the NFC Championship game, that's fine. But you also didn't get it done in the red zone, and once again, you only scored 7 points on 3 Brady interceptions back to back to back to back. So what are we talking about? So we've got Aaron Rodgers not wanting to be with the Packers. We've got the Packers wanting Aaron Rodgers back. We should see what happens. We should see if, well, we will see if Aaron Rodgers kind of forces his way out. Doesn't seem like that's really working too much so far, but we'll definitely keep an eye on this Aaron Rodgers saga. But truly, I'm kind of over seeing Aaron Rodgers trying to kind of demand everything here. It's like, you got everything. You literally, what team is he going to go to that their offense is as good as what the Packers have right now? I just don't get it. I don't get what Aaron Rodgers wants. So we'll see what happens, man. But so far from the Packers organization, they want him. They want him. They're not trading him. They never even thought about trading him come draft day. But that's where we're at. And then we get this right here. Once again, Aaron Rodgers, maybe, leaking all that to the media on the draft day. It was just a really weird coincidence that come draft day, we're talking about Aaron Rodgers wanting to kind of get traded because, last season they drafted his replacement. But it's not like he didn't have any weapons this season. So it's really kind of a null and void argument that you drafted Jordan Love last year with your first round pick. It didn't matter. You still had the weapons at the end of the day. You still went 13-3. And hosted the NFC Championship game. So I'm really not getting, what Aaron Rodgers is getting kind of, or what Aaron Rodgers is trying to get, his internet goons to kind of defend him on. But we get this right here, a little bit of a rumor. Packers tried to trade up for Justin Jefferson last season, the big old rookie standout wide receiver from the Vikings last season, just absolutely getting it done. So now we get this story of, maybe the Packers being like, we actually tried to get the wide receiver last season. We trying to make Aaron Rodgers feel better. And, that's just another thing here. Aaron Rodgers, he's so, vocal in, these subtle digs on Jeopardy, that final answer and all these kind of reports coming out on draft day. So, Aaron Rodgers trying to, make the Packers look bad, ruining their organization. And, Aaron Rodgers is getting praised for that. So now in turn for the Packers to try to look better in the image of the public, of the media, of the internet. Now they're releasing these rumors. If they're true, if they're false, I don't know. But now we get, stories of the Packers trying to trade up for Justin Jefferson last year. And the general manager also said that they targeted the 49ers wide receiver, Brandon Ayuk. Jefferson went 22nd, Ayuk went 25th. And then, the Packers are like, womp, well, we just got to the NFC Championship game. We picked so deep and we picked so late. We tried to get those wide receivers, but we couldn't. Aaron, do you forgive us now? We tried. It's just like Aaron has, this organization on their knees bowing down to Aaron Rodgers like he brings them to the promised land every single year. He brought you to one Super Bowl in the last 20 years. What are we talking about, man? Ugh, I truly don't get it, man. The people that defend Aaron Rodgers and Kyrie Irving to like the end of the earth, I don't get it. Yes, they're great talents, but in the main goal of the sport is to win. They don't really do it themselves that much. Where we get, LeBron James wins on his own, Tom Brady wins on his own. It's just like I can't praise y'all for being second best. I'm not gonna do that. No way. So that's where we are officially at with Aaron Rodgers. I'm not liking it, but we'll see. I mean, still, long off season, still 4 more months to the start of the NFL season. So we'll see what happens. We'll see where Aaron Rodgers ends up, if he ends up anywhere. Alrighty, here we go. Talking about the Broncos now. Broncos head coach Vic Fangio plans to split training camp reps 50-50 between Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater. Thank goodness. Yes, sir. Glad that Teddy Bridgewater is getting a fair shot here, which we knew he would. I mean, they got Teddy Bridgewater before the draft, and then they didn't draft the quarterback. So they are solid. They are sold that Teddy Bridgewater or Drew Lock will be their main guy at the start of the season, and that's fantastic because we saw what Drew Lock did last season. Nothing truly that good. Teddy Bridgewater, good stats, but didn't lead to a good record. So let's see. Let's break down the stats of these two quarterbacks, these two dueling quarterbacks that are going to be going at it here at the training camp when those begin. So Drew Lock last season, 57% completion percentage, just truly awful, man. That is just so disgustingly bad. He played 13 games as well last season, threw for 2,900 yards, a little, decent. It's not great. He played, not 16 games, so he's not up at the 3,000 yard mark. So we can kind of forgive the yards a little bit, only playing 13 games, but we can definitely not forgive this 16 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. So we got awful completion percentage and awful touchdown to interception ratio, leading to a 4-9 record. So definitely nothing great last season. Where we look at Teddy Bridgewater, good completion percentage, 69%, 3,700 yards, very well in 15 games, 15 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Once again, a little, not 2-1, which is trash. Having double-digit interceptions is definitely not good either. So definitely has to clean up those interceptions for Teddy Bridgewater. But the yards were there, the completion percentage was there, and then the other knock that we have on Teddy Bridgewater last season was just him not being clutch. Only went 4-11. Now all these games were really close. They really only got blown out or lost by 2 possessions in only 2 games last season. So, Teddy Bridgewater is looking kind of like the clear-cut option. I think he can beat Drew Lock 50-50 head up like that. I think he can. Another thing let's check out before we, move off of this topic is what were these games like last season for the Broncos and the Panthers? Were these close games? Were these competitive games? So here we go with Drew Lock. He went 4-11 last season. Nothing great, like we said. Or 4-11 or 4-9. He played 13 games, went 4-9, right? Okay. So in 4-9 record for Drew Lock, let's see what his games were looking like. Started out with a loss to the Titans, only 2-point loss there, 16-14, not bad. He threw 66%, 1 touchdown, no picks, so had a decent game that game. Already, we'll give him that one. And then they lose again to the Steelers, 21-26, but this time he had 20% completion percentage. He only played five throws, so he got injured that game. Then he was out for the next 2 weeks. Then he comes back week 5. Alrighty, now they get the win. Fantastic. They win 18-12 against New England though, and he had 2 interceptions and 41% completion percentage. Absolutely not good. But then they get blown out by the Chiefs, 43-16. So that's one blowout loss there for Drew Lock and the Broncos. They beat the Chargers 31-30, a 1-point win there. 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. That's not too bad. Then they lose Atlanta by 7 points, 27-34. He had 52% completion percentage that game. Absolutely not good. Then they get blown out by the Raiders, 12-37. Jeez. 1 touchdown, 4 interceptions, 48% completion percentage. Absolutely not good. They beat the Dolphins. We don't talk about that. Unfortunate. He did throw a pick and no touchdowns. Just the Dolphins did not show up that week. Truly unfortunate. Then he doesn't play week 11 because of the COVID-19. And then he's back to losing against the Chiefs 16-22, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 53% completion percentage. They lose against Buffalo 19-48, another blowout loss there. Absolutely big old blowout loss. Wow. Didn't even throw a pick there, just didn't do anything good. 132 yards passing for Drew Lock. They lose to the Chargers 16-19, and then they lose to the Raiders by 1 point to close out the season. So only 3 blowout losses for Drew Lock last season, so I guess not awful, but just not getting it done. All these interceptions. He played 1 game, 2, 3, 4, like 4 full games without throwing a pick. And now when we look at what Teddy Bridgewater did last season during his games, alrighty, here we go. Opens up with the Raiders, loses by 4, 34-30. 1 touchdown, no picks, 64% completion percentage, 269 yards, trying to do it all himself. Then they lose against the Bucks, 17-31, so a blowout loss there. 0 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, not good. But he had good completion percentage, 78%, just couldn't get it done through those picks, not great. Then they go on a 3-game winning streak. Very well done, which brings them to their next loss against Chicago. But once again, 1 possession, 16-23 loss there. No touchdowns, 2 interceptions. So truly, his reason why they lost. Then they lose by 3, 27-24 against the Saints. 2 touchdowns, no picks, 82% completion percentage. So still, very good in that loss. Just unfortunately lost by 3. Then they lose to Atlanta by 8, 17-25. 1 touchdown, 1 interception, not his best game. Then they lose against the Chiefs, but close, 33-32. 2 touchdowns, no picks, 73% completion percentage, 310 yards. It's like he's having great performances here in these close losses. Better than we could say that Drew Lock had in those close losses. Just nothing great that Drew Lock showed us. So relying on their defense, relying on their run game, that great run game of Melvin Gordon and Phillip Lindsay in those games. Where, Teddy Bridgewater, no Christian McCaffrey, had to rely on Mike Davis. You know what I'm saying? Alrighty, where do we leave off? This Kansas City game, they lose by 2. Then they lose by Tampa Bay again, getting blown out again, 23-46, a 23-point loss. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, 75% completion percentage, but only for 136 yards. So the Super Bowl champs, were their 2 blowout losses of the season so far. Alrighty, then they lose to the Vikings by 1, 28-27. Then they lose to Denver by 5, 32-27. Man, oh man, he lost head-to-head to Drew Lock. Not the greatest there. But, he threw 283 yards, no touchdowns, no picks. He threw the ball 40 times for 283 yards. It's still a decent performance. Unfortunately, he couldn't score the ball, which is still a big not good. But, everything else was great. They lose by Green Bay by 7, 8, 24-16. No picks, no touchdowns, 60% completion percentage, 258 yards. And then their last loss came the very last week of the season against the Saints, 33-7. 2 picks, no touchdowns. So 3 blowout losses for Drew Lock, 3 blowout losses for Teddy Bridgewater. 2 of those blowout losses for Teddy B came from the Super Bowl champions. So we'll see what it's going to look like in camp, but I'm definitely glad that Teddy Bridgewater is getting another chance here. I think Matt Rule kind of kicked him out a little too prematurely, but that's just another head coaching narrative that we can look at. Matt Rule with Sam Darnold now. This is, Matt Rule's guy. He went and traded for him, kicked out Teddy Bridgewater, so Matt Rule is getting somebody that he trusts in and believes in and thinks that can win in this league. So that's another narrative that we are going to have to keep an eye on with the head coaches this season. So a lot of great things to talk about coming up this season. Going to be absolutely fantastic and cannot wait for it. Alrighty, let's keep going here. Seahawks expected to decline running back Rashaad Penny's fifth-year option. So not great here. He's still going to be on the team for this season, but come next season, he's probably going to be gone. And it's funny because we just kind of read the story about Chris Carson with the Seahawks. Their running back one, Rashaad Penny, is their running back two, saying that, they're going to have great success running back by committee. And Chris Carson believed that him and Rashaad Penny can get it done. So Chris Carson, you better gosh darn hope you guys can get it done, because Rashaad Penny, his career is depending on you getting it done and also him getting it done. But if Chris Carson's so kind of believing in this running back by committee for Seattle, you got to go out and prove it to save your man here to try and get it into 2022 and try to have Rashaad Penny get re-signed. But yeah, a little interesting here. Just kind of Chris Carson believing in Rashaad Penny, the Seahawks organization really not believing in Rashaad Penny. So we'll see how it all plays out this season with the Seahawks at the running back position. Alrighty, let's keep going here. Another NFL player changing their jersey number to a single-digit number. We saw Leonard Fournette get number 7. We saw Emmanuel Sanders get number 1. And now we get Budda Baker from the Cardinals. He's changing to number 3. Alrighty, so players are kind of, doing the rule, changing their number, buying out all their existing inventory. So, we like it. We like Budda Baker. He really kind of emerged last season. So we'll see if he can kind of keep it up. Hopefully this kind of change in number doesn't, mess him up any. I don't think it is, but we'll see what happens. But just another player exercising that option of changing their jersey number. So Budda Baker is going to be rocking the number 3 back there. Alrighty, now let's go to the NBA for some of these stories. And man, oh man, LeBron James, man, not a good look here. So, LeBron James' thoughts on the play-in tournament. Quote, whoever came up with that shit needs to be fired. Well, it's unfortunate because the Lakers just dropped down to the 7th seed, which is the play-in tournament spot. 7, 8, 9, 10 in the East and the West have the play-in tournament. So now that the Lakers are in the play-in tournament, LeBron James thinks it's trash, thinks it's stupid, thinks whoever came up with the idea needs to be fired. But, we love the play-in tournament. I think it's great. It gives kind of teams a chance that, maybe faced injury in the first half of the season, but caught fire in the second half of the season, or just kind of caught fire at the trade deadline. Maybe they made a move. We talked about the Bulls, who, made a move at the trade deadline to get Vucevic. We talked about them, how great that would have been if they could have played well. They haven't really been playing well. Zach LaVine's now out, and Vucevic can't really get it done himself. They kind of, traded one superstar for another superstar. Zach LaVine couldn't get it done himself. They bring in Vucevic. They played a couple of games together. Then Zach LaVine's on the COVID-19 list, and Vucevic can't get it done himself. So, but it's just a scenario out there where the Bulls could have been very exciting in this play-in tournament because they made a move at the trade deadline. They weren't good in the first half of the season. The Timberwolves, man, oh man, could you imagine if Karl Anthony Towns didn't get COVID and D'Angelo Russell didn't get injured, unfortunately, because now in the back half, they're competitive. They're winning games. What are they in their last 10? I want to say at least like 4 and 6. 6-4, even better than I thought. I was giving them no credit there. So, catching wind when everybody's healthy in the back half of the season, giving teams an opportunity to kind of show what they can do here. So we love the play-in tournament here. We've got no problem. We're going to be watching Russell Westbrook against potentially, hopefully, James Harden, if he can get into that, or against James Harden and Kevin Durant. His former team, his former squad that abandoned him and didn't invite him over there to Brooklyn. Kevin Durant, was like, James Harden, you going there? And James Harden was like, you going there, Kevin? And they're like, yeah, we going there. And Russell Westbrook's all by his own. So I'm saying, like, anybody going to ask me? Anybody going to invite me over to Brooklyn? I like Brooklyn. I like the Nets. I'm here. Oh, y'all got Kyrie? Y'all are going with another point guard? Y'all are going with Kyrie Irving? And leaving little old Russell Westbrook over here by myself in Washington. You're going to leave me in Washington? Y'all are going to leave me in Washington and go to Brooklyn? All right. I'm not mad, but I'm going to see y'all in there. I'm going to see y'all in the playoffs. I'll see y'all. So, just another great story here of the Wizards catching fire in the back half of the season, shoring up their team, getting it done, winning games when it matters in the clutch to try and compete for that play-in tournament spot where anything can happen. So we absolutely love the play-in tournament, and I'm truly upset with LeBron James here with these comments. What are you talking about? You didn't even play for the last 2 months. Relax. You lost like 2 games, your first 2 games back. Relax. You didn't have Dennis Schroeder last night. Relax. You'll be fine. Play in the play-in tournament. Shut it, LeBron. And, you'll be fine. But truly didn't like that from LeBron James saying, the play-in tournament was trash. I think it's a great idea. And then we get this one, LeBron James came back from injury, and now, quote here from last night, quote, I don't want to say I came back too early, but at the end of the day, I had to test it out and see where I was at. So LeBron James left the game last night, because he came back too early. So more excuses here by LeBron James. Really don't like that about him. Everything else is great. I love everything about LeBron James, but these excuses right now, man, oh man, I'm hating what I'm seeing by it. But we'll see what happens, and hopefully this Lakers team can get a little bit better, because here we go. Anthony Davis in his first 6 games back from the injury, 16 points a game, 7 rebounds, 3 assists on 39% shooting from the field. Absolutely not great, or not even close to kind of what he's been doing his entire career, or just that last season with the Lakers, or just this season before he got injured. So, injury sucks. It came at the worst time for this Lakers team once, when they were finally at the top. I mean, I think when everybody was healthy, they were the top, two seeds. They were either 2 or 3. They were in the top 3. But, that's where they were, in the playoff wise. And now they're number 7. So I understand LeBron James' frustration. Way too many injuries here. Threw off their chemistry, threw off their rhythm, and now they're losing games back to back. So not great there, but hopefully the Lakers can figure it out. But with LeBron James possibly still not playing now because he came back too early from his injury, making excuses, we'll see how he's looking. But now we got Dennis Schroeder out. We're going to get to that story. Let's talk about that right now. Here we go. Dennis Schroeder didn't play last night. He's in the health protocols, expected to miss 10 to 14 days, so that's not good. We know there's about 8 to 10 games for every team left in this NBA regular season to try and get it done, shore up your playoff positioning. And now the Lakers are at number 7 because the Blazers, shout out to the Blazers, winning last night. They're on the 4-game winning streak, and now they're out of the play-in tournament. So there is still moves to be made. I mean, the Mavericks at 5, the Blazers at 6, the Lakers at 7 are all tied here at 36 wins and 28 losses. So, I mean, you're still in it. You can still move up to the 5th seed, the 6th seed, and not be in the play-in tournament. So, LeBron, get locked and loaded. Have a new mindset. You can beat out the Mavericks. You can beat out the Blazers. Come on. We've seen you do it before, so go and do it again. But you can't have this attitude of, we the season's over. We're in the play-in tournament. We're injured. I came back too early. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, we'll see what happens here with the Lakers and LeBron, but the chance of a repeat's not looking real good because their outside shooting is just absolutely atrocious, man. They got the beef down low, obviously, Andre Drummond, Anthony Davis, LeBron James, but who are we relying on shooting the basketball? Caruso? Schroeder? Schroeder's decent, but Kuzma can't be consistent for more than 1 game at a time, so we'll see, man. Not a great night from the Lakers last night, but another loss. Alrighty, and then the last game to talk about big. You want to talk about injury. You want to talk about, upset. This team has the right to be upset. So, the Celtics losing by 7 with 41 seconds left against the Blazers, 126-119. The Celtics with 40 seconds left going to inbound the ball, and Jayson, Tatum, and Jaylen Brown bump knees or have their legs twisted up, and now they're both out with the last 40 seconds when the game was basically over, down 7 here. So, we get the replay right here. They just kind of get twisted up. We see their legs kind of get intertwined and a little twisty, and they all fall down to the court, and they all jog off the court. We see Jaylen Brown here hopping off the floor, putting no pressure on that right foot. That's not a good sign. Jayson Tatum also left the floor here. So, I mean, hopefully they're both great. We haven't really heard any updates from these players yet on the severity of their injury. But man, oh man, if Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown both go down, folks, this Celtics team's going to put up 40 points a night, folks. Absolutely trash and lose every single game. They get bounced out first round. And potentially, are they still in jeopardy of not making the play-in tournament? They're currently number 7 in the East here. And they've got a 7. They got a 7-game lead over the Raptors at that 11th seed. So they're pretty much locked into at least a playing tournament, but you need Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown 1,000% healthy if you want any chance of making any decent kind of effort in this playing tournament. So prayers up for Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. Definitely going to need it because that injury, man, those, both hopping off the court, that's not a good sign ever. So hopefully they're all right because I would like to see what they can do if they can kind of carry it. If Jayson Tatum can go absolutely beast mode and put up 40 points a night in the playoffs and try to get it done, try to cause some ruckus and some upsets. But that's where we're at with the Celtics right now. Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown both going down. So we'll hold our breaths. Alrighty, those were all the stories that we needed to go over for today. So let's now head over to the NBA. Break down the games from last night, do our moneymaker for tonight's action, and then we'll head over to the AFC North where we will grade the team's draft performance from the weekend. Alrighty, so here we go. First game of the night on at 3:30, a great game, Nets in the Bucks, and man, oh man, Kevin Durant and Giannis. If Kevin Durant was in the MVP discussion, this would have been an MVP-type performance. Giannis, he is in the discussion. It is an MVP-type performance, don't get us wrong, but it's just, unfortunately, I don't know if he's top 3 in the MVP right now, so don't know how much weight this really is going to have, but what a night by both of these great old superstars. Kyrie Irving didn't have the greatest night. He shot 38%. So once again, it's just funny to me of just how, when Kyrie Irving is playing on the biggest stages with the biggest names, he's not ever one of those big names that is consistently getting it done for the team. So, Kyrie Irving, let's calm it down a little bit. That's all I want to say on Kyrie Irving. I know I bring him up a lot, but it's just like every day, it's just like we're seeing something new that just proves us right a little bit. So we point it out. Sue us. We point it out. But let's start here with the Bucks since they got the win. Or actually, let's start with this. So here we go. Nets down 3, 117-114 with 3 seconds left. Kevin Durant gets the inbound here, throws up the 3. Unfortunately, it doesn't go, but Kevin Durant was the last one to take the shot. I mean, that's exactly what I would want. I know Kyrie Irving's great, but I'm taking Kevin Durant with that shot. I trust Kevin Durant a little bit more. Now, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving have both hit their big-time clutch shots in the finals. Kyrie over Steph Curry in the finals. Kevin Durant over LeBron James in the finals. So I know they both have the ability to hit the big shot, but I'm going to go with Kevin Durant, who I like scoring the ball. He's always efficient shooting. Like we just said, I mean, Kyrie Irving shot 38% on 21 shots last night. It's just nothing great. So I definitely trust Kevin Durant to take the shot. Unfortunately, it doesn't go. It seemed to look a little rushed. Catches the ball with 3 seconds left and kind of hits a little bit of a turnaround jumper from 3. Probably could have taken a solid dribble, got into some nice, form and launched up to 3. The defense wouldn't have mattered. I mean, you could play tight defense like Kevin Durant. It doesn't matter. He's 6'11". He's going to rise up and drain it over you. That's not it. So maybe a little bit of a rush shot, but the shot was the shot and it didn't fall. So we got to count it as that. But Kevin Durant, a little unfortunate, didn't make that. But let's start here with the Bucks. Drew Holiday, 18 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 43% and 3 of 8 from the 3. Dante DiVincenzo still, once again, not getting it done offensively. 0 points on 5 shots. Not great. He had 8 rebounds, which you'll give him, but, he's got decent defense, we see. But, geez, Dante DiVincenzo hit the 3. That's what this Bucks team needs you to do. And we see a lot of these, scoreless nights from Dante DiVincenzo. Basically like a Grayson Allen out here, All right, Brook Lopez at the 5, 4.6 rebounds. Shot 2 of 7 from the field, not great. Giannis, 49 points, 4 assists, 8 rebounds, 4 of 8 from 3, 53% on 36 shots. Jeez Louise. But he got it done with those 49 points, man. Getting it done, taking over the game. Giannis demanding the ball, commanding the floor. I got to give him credit for that. So fantastic to Giannis last night. And then Chris Middleton, pretty nice night by this man. 26 points, 11 rebounds, 6 assists. He shot 52%, 3 of 7 from 3. So fantastic to that. And then off the bench, they get the great contribution by Brian Forbes, 12 points in 18 minutes off the bench. So very well done. All the starters get it done. Don't expect too much off the bench because, this is a big game for these starters, and the starters all kind of got it done. So shout out to Giannis, shout out to Chris Middleton, the number 1 and 2, performing absolutely fantastic last night. All right, now let's go to the Nets now. They're number one. Kevin Durant, 42 points, 10 rebounds, 2 assists, 7 of 13 from 3. Once again, efficient as heck. Unfortunately, missed the game winner. Shot 48% from the field on 33 shots. Now let's talk about Kyrie Irving. 20 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, but 2 of 8 from 3, 38% on 21 shots. So when we're looking at, the 1 and 2 of the Bucks, the 1 is Giannis, the 2 is Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton putting up more points, more efficient on less shots than Kyrie Irving took, or the same amount, 21 shots. So we just see, the number 2 of the Bucks being a little bit better than, Kyrie Irving, the number 2 of the Nets. That's all I'm trying to point out here, folks. That is all I'm pointing out here. So Kyrie Irving didn't have the greatest night last night. Joe Harris, 5 points, 5 rebounds. He couldn't get it done. He shot 1 of 5 from 3, 28% from the field, so he couldn't get it done. Unfortunate. Definitely need Joe Harris to be a little bit better out here. DeAndre Jordan back in the starting lineup. Thank goodness Blake Griffin was not starting last night. But DeAndre Jordan, 10 points, 11 rebounds, trying his best to, handle the beef down low of, Brook Lopez and Giannis, trying his best. Jeff Green put up 7 points, 6 rebounds, and then we already covered Kevin Durant, yeah? Did we cover him? Yeah, we did. Efficient as heck, 7 of 13 from the 3, fantastic. So just unfortunately, the number 2 of the Nets couldn't be as good as the number 2 of the Bucks. But what we did get off the bench here for the Nets was a little bit better than what we got from the Nets of the Bucks here. Landry Shamet off the bench, 17 points, fantastic, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, getting it done. And Blake Griffin also got it done, 11 points, 7 rebounds in only 18 minutes. We'll take that. He shot 2 of 4 from the 3. That's what we like him at, 4 threes. We can kind of get behind that. We like 4. We really don't want to see that 6 3-pointers a night game. But yeah, we'll take 2 of 4 from the 3. So decent off the bench here. Kevin Durant tried his best to tie it up at the end of the game, but what a great game here. This is going to be great for this playoffs, man. This playoffs, man, it's going to be great. If everything, let's just say the season ended today, no playing tournament, so we're just going to count 1 through 8. 76ers and the Hornets right now at the 1-8 matchup. Yeah, the 76ers may win, but I think this Hornets team could steal a game or 2. The Nets versus the Celtics. If Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum are healthy, they could probably steal a game or 2, maybe 3. The Bucks Heat, that's going to be probably a 7-game series. The Knicks and the Hawks, probably going to be a 7-game series. So even, we're getting a lot of close playoff games and, a lot of, deep playoff runs that are, series that are going to go 5, 6, 7 games in the first round. Probably no sweeps here in the Eastern Conference. Then if we go to the Western Conference, Suns, Grizzlies, round 1 matchup, Grizzlies will compete in that all day. They'll steal a couple of games. Jazz, Lakers, come on. You don't think LeBron James is going to give it his all and steal a couple of games? Come on. Then we get the Nuggets and the Blazers. Yes, sir. That's going to be a 7-game series all day. And then the Clippers and the Mavericks. We just saw this series last year, and I think it went like 4-2. So first round playoff series this year, folks, are truly going to be great. They're going to be entertaining as all heck, and I don't really predict any sweeps coming out of here in the first round if the playoffs ended right now. So fantastic work to the Nets. Fantastic game for the Bucks. Just a great game overall. Truly fantastic. Alrighty, let's move on to the next game up. The Blazers and the Celtics. Blazers, another win here. 4-game winning streak. McCollum has really been fantastic these last couple of games. Efficient as heck. Where Damian Lillard, a little lackluster on the efficiency department. He's still giving us those 20-plus points, which we definitely need for this Blazers team. But CJ McCollum has really been kind of, the main reason I would put him as, the number 1 scoring option right now of this Blazers team. So shout out to the Blazers getting back on track. They're now the number 6 seed in the West, so there's no more playing tournament for them as of right now. So let's see if they can kind of close out these final 8 games. But shout out to the Blazers getting back on track, beating the Celtics. Absolutely fantastic. So let's start here with the Blazers. Damian Lillard, 26 points, 13 assists, 6 rebounds, fantastic, 3 of 9 from 3, 44% overall from the field. So it's still a good night, don't get us wrong, but, CJ McCollum a little bit more efficient out here. 33 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds, 60% from the field, 4 of 8 from 3. Nurkic, 14 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists. He's been getting into his groove finally, folks. I mean, we were talking about, Nurkic, he shouldn't even be a starting center anymore. But these last 4 games, truly getting it done defensively, offensively, and being a great big out there. So well done to Nurkic. Norman Powell getting moved to the 4 now. 23 points, 3 assists, 2 rebounds, 4 of 6 from 3. And then Robert Covington at the 3. Norman Powell, Robert Covington kind of switching it around a little bit. And Robert Covington goes 10 points, 4 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3. Fantastic. So all the starters get it done. And then we get Carmelo Anthony, baby. Yes, sir. 13 points, 3 rebounds. That's what we're talking about, getting it done off the bench. So well done to Carmelo. Well done to McCollum, Nurkic, yes, sir, in company. Everybody here for the Blazers getting it done. Fantastic. And Derrick Jones Jr. is still not playing. Oh, man, unfortunate. Alrighty, now let's talk about this Celtics team. No Kemba Walker, but Evan Fournier did play last night, and finally he steps up to have another good game. What is this, his third good game of a Celtic? But they're kind of rocking with their classic lineup of no Kemba Walker, Marcus Smart at the 1, Evan Fournier at the 2, Jaylen Brown at the 3, Tatum at the 4, but this time they have Tristan Thompson at the 5 and have Robert Williams come off the bench. And that wasn't good for either player because they both kind of floundered a little bit. Let's start here with the Celtics starters. Marcus Smart, 11 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds, 3 of 9 from 3. Fantastic. Maybe a little light on the scoring department, 11 points, 28% from the field, but 3 of 9 is not bad. Evan Fournier, 21 points, 3 assists, 5 rebounds. He shot 80% from the field and 5 of 7 from 3. The only shots he missed were those 2 3-pointers. So, yes, sir, Evan Fournier getting it done. Tristan Thompson at the 5, though, 2 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds on 16% shooting, getting locked up by Nurkic. Tatum going for the 33 points that this Celtics needs. So 33 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds. He shot 4 of 5 from 3 and 57% from the field. Fantastic work by Jayson Tatum. Jaylen Brown, though, unfortunately couldn't give his great contribution here. Only 16 points. He did have 11 rebounds and 4 assists, but 1 of 9 from 3, 27% on 22 shots. Just it wasn't that other offensive scoring option that they needed, and we see that they lose by 10 points. I mean, Jaylen Brown gets 26 points. It's a tie game, and it's anybody's game at that point. But definitely need Jaylen Brown and Jayson Tatum to get it done, and Jaylen Brown didn't get it done last night. So unfortunate. Hopefully he's healthy. Hopefully that injury at the end of the game isn't going to ruin their rest of the season. So got to pray for that still. Let's talk about this Celtics bench. Anything great here? Peyton Pritchard still getting it done. 13 points, 6 rebounds. Yes, sir. Peyton Pritchard. We've been kind of following him. He's been getting it done consistently off the bench. 10-plus points. That's what we need from the Celtics team. And then let's shout out Aaron Nesmith. Another good game by him. 16 points, 4 rebounds on 6 of 7 from the field. Only missed 1 shot all night. And he shot 4 of 4 from 3. Efficient. Oh, my goodness. So very well done to the Celtics bench. Starting to get kind of their rhythm off the bench. Getting these 2 double-digit scores off the bench is fantastic. And now once Kemba Walker comes, we'll see if Evan Fournier comes off the bench and maybe can kind of run the second squad of Evan Fournier and Peyton Pritchard and Aaron Nesmith and try to get them all involved a little bit more. So we'll see what happens, but very well done for the bench here. Just unfortunately comes up a little short because Jaylen Brown didn't have a good night. But the Blazers get the win 129-119. Well done to the Blazers last night. Alrighty, let's move on to the Heat and the Hornets now. Hornets try to keep it close. Unfortunately, the Heat get it done. And, this is promising for the Heat now, getting their feet right. What are they on, a 2-game winning streak? 3-game winning streak, 7-3 in their last 10. Moved up to that 6th seed here above the Celtics and the Hornets. So we'll see if they can kind of close out the season in a true playoff spot, not in a playoff tournament. So well done for the Heat here, getting back on track without Victor Oladipo. Fantastic. So let's start here. Kendrick Nunn at the 1, 19 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 3 of 8 from the 3. Duncan Robinson, 10 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 10 from 3. Alrighty. Bam Adebayo, 20 points, 10 assists, 7 rebounds, getting it done. Trevor Ariza, 9 points, 2 blocks, 3 steals, 3 assists, 7 rebounds, and only took 6 shots. So just getting it done on the defensive end. And then Jimmy Butler, 18 points, 8 assists, 8 rebounds on 62% shooting. So all the kind of starters decently getting it done. Basically everybody in double-digit scoring there, so fantastic. But then we get their kind of secret weapon off the bench, Goran Dragic. Yes, sir, 18 points, 2 assists, 2 rebounds, fantastic. And then Dwayne Dedmon, another good game by this man, 14 points, 8 rebounds. And without Tyler Hero here, they're getting it done, man. I don't know if Tyler Hero, I think he kind of lost his touch a little bit. He was good in the bubble. I'm not going to go any better than good, but ever since the start of the season, he's never been what he been in that bubble. The production wise, the scoring wise, the 3-pointer wise, he's kind of a shell of himself here this season. So maybe he played a little bit better in the bubble, can't get it done here, but now we're getting kind of Dwayne Dedmon. So let's keep it up with him and seeing if he can kind of keep this scoring pace up a little bit more. But well done for the Heat last night to keep on track with the win. Alrighty, now the Hornets. LaMelo Ball still good. Malik Monk coming off the bench. Fantastic. But it's a loss, unfortunately. So here we go. LaMelo Ball, 14 points, 4 steals, 5 assists, 6 rebounds, 0 of 3 from 3, unfortunately. But overall, kind of a good night by him. Terry Rozier, 14 points, 3 assists, 3 rebounds. He shot 2 of 4 from the 3, 50% from the field on 10 shots. PJ Washington at the 5, 21 points, 6 rebounds. Miles Bridges, 15 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds. And then Cody Martin at the 3, only playing 6 minutes, 0 points on 0 shots. So nobody going above and beyond here. Really kind of need Melo to put up 20 points. Definitely need Terry Rozier to put up 20-plus points, and they kind of missed the mark there. Off the bench, they got some nice production here. Jalen McDaniels, 12 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Devontae Graham came off the bench and wasn't that great. We saw Devontae Graham kind of in the starting lineup for LaMelo Ball, putting up 20 points every single game. But off the bench in only 23 minutes, 9 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, which is still pretty good for coming off the bench. But, we know Devontae Graham can do a lot more. And then Malik Monk off the bench getting 11 points and 5 assists on 3 of 6 from the 3. So overall, a decent night here by this Hornets team. Still a team that is able to kind of pull off some wins here and there. They've still got the shooting pace to do so. So we're still kind of buying into this Hornets team just because they lost to the Heat. Nothing, that's not changing our mind. The only thing that, it was big for this Hornets team to win, to try to get kind of, closer if they wanted to get into the top 6. So they didn't have to get in that playing tournament, but the Heat step up, and this is, what this is why we aren't really too worried about the Heat, because they always kind of step up in the right time in the playoffs, in the crunch time. I mean, if the Heat lost the game last night, they're still in jeopardy of kind of falling to the 7th seed, but they went out, controlled their own destiny, got the win, and now they're a full game ahead of the Celtics since the Heat won and the Celtics lost. So well done to the Heat last night, stepping it up when it matters. That's why we're not worried about that Heat team, folks. Alrighty, next game up is the Kings and the Mavericks. And the Kings, another win here, beating some good teams. What the heck? They're on a 2-game winning streak, beating the Lakers, beating the Mavericks, and they don't have De'Aaron Fox. So what the hell is going on with this Kings team? De'Aaron Fox is like their best player, but Tyrese Halliburton steps up, man. Got to give him credit. And then, Buddy Hield can take 43s a game now because no De'Aaron Fox. But let's start here with the Kings since they got the win. Tyrese Halliburton, once again, in place of De'Aaron Fox. 11 points, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, 2 of 4 from the 3, 50% from the field on only 8 shots. So we can, we understand those 11 points. Buddy Hield playing 42 minutes. Oh, my goodness. The most by far on this Kings team. So shout out to Buddy Hield. 27 points, 3 assists, 6 rebounds, 6 of 10 from 3. Got it done. Raquan Holmes at the 5, 17 points, 7 rebounds. Marvin Bagley, 23 points, 3 assists, 9 rebounds. Everybody doing real good. And then Maurice Harkless at the 3, 0 points on 2 shots in only 17 minutes. But they got some nice bench contribution out here. Delon Wright, 14 points, 5 assists. Damian Jones, 9 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Terrence Davis, 8 points, 7 assists, 5 rebounds. So real nice night by everybody on this Kings team. And it's real confusing that De'Aaron Fox, he's out and now they're starting to win games. So we'll see what's going to happen with this Kings team. Obviously can't do anything. I think, are they mathematically limited? They are the 12th seed here in the West. Oh, yeah, they got 4.5 games out. 4.5 games out from that 10th seed with the Spurs. So I think it's a little bit too late for this Kings team to get back on track. Like we said, every team has about 8 to 10 games remaining. And for the Kings, it's just going to be a little too much to overcome. Definitely have to win out and hope for some losses. And I don't know if that's going to happen because De'Aaron Fox is going to come back and then they're going to fall apart again for some reason. But well done for the Kings of winning when you can. We'll take it. Alrighty, and then the Mavericks, once again, no Kristaps Porzingis, and they lose another game because it all falls on Doncic at that point. So that's basically what happened. Leading scorer was Luka Doncic, 30 points, 6 assists, 6 rebounds. He shot awful from the 3, 1 of 7. And then the second leading scorer was Jalen Brunson off the bench with 17 points. And then the next highest scorer was Dwight Powell with 13 points. And then it was Josh Richardson with 11 points on 40% shooting. And then everybody else was in single digits. So nothing great here, nothing consistent, no great scorers. Dorian Finney-Smith, 3 points on 14% shooting. Maxi Kleber, 5 points on 25% shooting. Trey Burke puts up 7 points off the bench. Willie Cauley-Stein off the bench, 1 point. Got to the line twice. No, what's his name? No, Tim Hardaway Jr., another good offensive piece that we can rely on, 12 to 15 points a night on. So just no great scores here for the Mavericks last night. That's why they don't even put up 100 points, and that's why they lose the game over a struggling Kings team at home. Not great. So Luka tries it all himself. Unfortunately, didn't do enough. Also got ejected late in this game as well. But, Mavericks lose 111-99. Alrighty, next game up is the Knicks and the Rockets, and the Knicks have a big ol' win. Once again, blowing out the bad teams. Here it is, 122-97, a 25-point win for the Knicks. They blow out the best teams, folks. The bad teams. They blow out the bad teams, folks. So let's start here with the Knicks since they got the win. Julius Randle, 31 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. Magnificent night. RJ Barrett, 21 points, 5 assists, 7 rebounds. Fantastic. Reggie Bullock, 11 points, 3 rebounds, 3 of 6 from 3, and only took 7 shots total. So yes, sir, can always count on those big 3 for the starters. Nerlens Noel at the 2, only playing 11 minutes, 2 points, 2 rebounds, and then Elfrid Payton at the 1, only playing 13 minutes, 7 points, 1 assist. But then we get the bench, yes sir, Derrick Rose, 24 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds, 4 of 5 from 3, and 72% on 11 shots, yes sir, get it done. And then Emmanuel Quickley out the bench, 13 points, 4 assists, yes sir. Taj Gibson, 6 points, 5 rebounds, a plus 36 on the floor, getting it done defensively. So well done, the main people, the main 3 in the starting lineup. And then the kind of main 2, the main 3 off the bench, Derrick Rose, Emmanuel Quickley, Taj Gibson, all getting it done for an explosive win here for the Knicks. And they are still on track, and they are still that 4th seed in the East. A game and a half ahead of the Hawks at number 5. So let's see if the Knicks can kind of close out the season with that kind of home court advantage for the first round. So fantastic to them. And then the Rockets now, Kevin Porter Jr., if he's not putting up 50 points a game, this Rockets team will not win. And Kevin Porter only put up 14 points last night, so that's why they did not win. He had 6 assists and 6 rebounds to go along with that. Christian Wood, 19 points, led the team in scoring. Not really, this is what we expect. 19 points, 8 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk, 17 points, 10 rebounds, 1 of 4 from the 3. And that was really it. They get Kenyon Martin putting up 13 points off the bench, but just nothing else great from this Rockets team. We know we can always count on Christian Wood, and that is kind of it. So Rockets, another loss here. One of our moneymaker picks, Knicks minus 11. No problem there. We know they blow out the bad teams, folks. Alrighty, let's go to this game, the Suns and the Thunder, and let's start here with some tape. Alrighty, here we go. Thunder. Down 4 points. Lugens Dort throws up a 3. They ended up calling the foul from the 3-point line, but then they go and review it. They take the foul away, and that's basically where the game ends. So Well done for the Suns to beat the Thunder last night. Dort was finally back for the Thunder. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander was not. We did say he was a game-time decision, but he ended up not going. So the Suns hold on for the 3-point win against the Thunder. So shout out to the Suns for the win. We can start here with the Suns. Chris Paul, 18 points, 11 assists. Classic Chris Paul. Devin Booker, 32 points, 6 assists, 3 rebounds. Classic Devin Booker. DeAndre Ayton, 5.7 rebounds. Torrey Craig still at the 4 because Jay Crowder's still not in. 18 points, 10 rebounds. I love Torrey Craig, man. What a great freaking, non-superstar on this team that gets great production every single game. So Torrey Craig's fantastic. And then McCall Bridges, 17 points at the 3. So all the starters get it done. Anything great off the bench? We get Cameron Johnson, 12 points, 2 rebounds. Yes, sir. Dario Saric put up 8 points on 4 shots, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Frank Kaminsky, 7 points, 6 rebounds in 15 minutes. Javon Carter, 6 points, 4 steals, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. We'll take that absolutely all day. So some great production here from the Suns. Definitely needed all of it because they only won by 3 points. Alrighty, and now for the Thunder now. Dort at the 2 still. Puko Svetsky at the 3. So here we go. The Thunder. Theo Melendon, 18 points, 4 assists, 4 rebounds. Luguentz Dort, only 10 points on 2 of 9 from 3 and 21% on 19 shots. Yikes. Moses Brown still at the 5, 4 points, 6 rebounds. Darius Bazley, 19 points, 9 rebounds. And then Puko Svetsky, 4 points in only 9 minutes. Gosh darn. He's definitely floundering out there. But the bench of the Thunder got it done because they had to rely on the bench because the starters were not getting it done. Isaiah Roby, 11 points, 5 rebounds. Ty Jerome, 15 points, 5 assists. Kenrich Williams, 15 points, 5 rebounds. And then Gabriel Deck, 11 points, 6 rebounds. So the bench absolutely got it done. Luguentz Dort struggled heavily. Puko Svetsky's not even playing, and we can't even count on him. So luckily the Suns survive here. 123-120 over the Thunder. Alrighty, next game up, the 76ers and the Spurs in another, we had another game that's very, very close, down to the buzzer in overtime. They only put up 4 points each in overtime, folks. Truly comical. What was this in overtime? Yeah, Philadelphia put up 6 points in overtime. The Spurs put up 4. So absolutely trash scoring in overtime. But let's start here with the film. And hey, the narrative coming into the season was that Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid just don't work together. They can't win together. But here they are in overtime, pairing up. Joel Embiid takes the same exact shot that he missed in regulation, the kind of turnaround jumper here, mid-range, this one a little bit closer. He misses it, but Ben Simmons crashes the board, tips it up right before the buzzer. So yes, sir, they just won together. They got it done, both getting involved on the last play. Joel Embiid misses a shot, and Ben Simmons crashes the board. Ben Simmons can't shoot. How can you win with, two kind of, big players that can't shoot on the outside of Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons? But here they are getting a win, being good, being number 1. They should have. Did they reclaim number? Yes, they did. Fantastic. 76ers reclaimed that number 1 seed because the Nets lost last night and the 76ers won. So yes, sir, getting it done. The 1 seed in the Eastern Conference because Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid, they are getting it done. They finally figured out how to get it done with them together on the floor, and now they're first in the East, folks. So what a great season. What a great story. Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid turning it around, and got to give them a ton of credit. Alrighty, let's start here with the 76ers first since they won the game. Seth Curry at the 1, Ben Simmons at the 2, so a little bit of a switch up here, and it kind of worked out. Seth Curry, 22 points, 5 rebounds on 6 of 6 from 3, and 80% from the field on 10 shots. So Seth Curry being the 1, let's see if this plays out. Let's see if this keeps up. Ben Simmons at the 2, 5 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. He only took 6 shots. Joel Embiid, 34 points, 12 rebounds. Very well done. Tobias Harris, a little bit of a lackluster night. 6 points, 5 assists, 5 rebounds on 0 of 3 from 3 and 30% on 10 shots. And then Danny Green, a little lackluster as well. 11 points, 5 rebounds, 3 assists on 3 of 12 from 3. So Danny Green lets us down. Tobias Harris lets us down. But Seth Curry steps up, and they're able to escape the win with a 3-point win. 2-point win in overtime. Alrighty. Off the bench here for the 76ers, Dwight Howard, 14 points, 11 rebounds. Always so reliable out here. Shake Milton only put up 8 points. And that was basically it from their bench. So all the starters get it done. Joel Embiid goes crazy. Simmons hits the game winner, the game-tipping winner. So we give him credit. Alrighty, now the Spurs now. No DeMar DeRozan. He didn't play, so, really shouldn't have been this close. But, we'll give it to him. We'll give it to the 76ers. Alrighty, here we go. Keldon Johnson filling in for DeMar DeRozan at the 3. 19 points, 5 assists, 6 rebounds. Rudy Gay, 18 points, 10 rebounds, getting in the starting lineup. Drew Eubanks at the 5, 10.6 rebounds. Devin Vassell at the 2, 4 points on 1 of 6 from the field. Trey Jones, 4 points on 2 of 6 from the field. And then off the bench, Lonnie Walker coming off the bench. Oh, my goodness. He played 31 minutes, played a lot of minutes, but still coming off the bench, 23 points and 2 assists. So they decently got it done. And Gorgie Dieng, 17 points, 3 assists, 4 rebounds. We'll take that as well. So, Jacob Poeltl, DeMar DeRozan not playing here for the Spurs. They kind of, changed their starting lineup, and it worked out a little bit. Kept them close. Unfortunately, only put up 4 points in overtime. So, all right, let's move on to the last game of the night, and then we'll head over to our moneymaker. So here we go, the Lakers and the Raptors. Another loss here for the Lakers. Not great. Everybody good to go. Not great. So let's start here with the Raptors, where everybody wasn't good to go. Not great. No Fred VanVleet last night, and they still get the win. So here we go with the Raptors. Man, oh man, I cannot believe this Raptors team won last night. But here we go. Kyle Lowry, 37 points, 11 assists on 8 of 13 from 3. Magnificent game. Fantastic. Malachi Flynn filling in for Fred VanVleet at the 2, and we knew Malachi Flynn was getting it done off the bench, but man, oh man, in the starting rotation, 0 points and 0 of 7 from the field. Yikes. Kem Birch still at the 5, 4 points, 9 rebounds. Pascal Siakam, 39 points, 13 rebounds. Yes, sir, he shot 4 of 8 from 3 and 57% for the field on 26 shots. So Siakam, Kyle Lowry, their 2 main starters still in the starting lineup here, getting it done. Very well done. And then Stanley Johnson at the 3 for the starters, 0 points on 0 of 5 shooting. So they had 2 players score 0 points on a combined 0 of 13 from the field. But then you get Kyle Lowry and Siakam going absolutely nuts. And then off the bench, what do we get? Freddie Gillespie, 11 points, 7 rebounds in 19 minutes. DeAndre Bembry, 14 points, 8 rebounds, getting it done. So very well done for the Raptors here, overcoming the 0 of 7 of Malachi Flynn, overcoming the 0 of 5 of Stanley Johnson from the field. So well done for the Raptors. Siakam and Kyle Lowry says, just hold on, we're going home, and I'm leading y'all to a win. Fantastic. Now for the Lakers, who didn't step up here? This is their lineup. Caruso at the 1 because no Dennis Schroeder. KCP at the 2, LeBron at the 3, Davis at the 4, and Andre Drummond at the 5. So let's get into them now. Alex Caruso, his first start of the season, 7 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 of 4 from 3, and 33% from the field. Nothing great. KCP, 10 points, 4 assists. He shot 2 of 3 from 3. Andre Drummond, 19 points, 11 rebounds. Anthony Davis, 12 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. And LeBron James, 19 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds. So you can always count on the beef down low, but this outside shooting is absolutely not great. Kyle Kuzma had a great game off the bench. Well done. 24 points, led the team in scoring, shot 6 of 11 from 3. 3 rebounds go along with all that. And then we also got Talen Horton-Tucker, 14 points, 7 assists, 3 rebounds. Off the bench, Montrezl Harrell, 9 points, 3 rebounds off the bench as well. Just unfortunately, their starting guards provide real no lift offensively for this team, and Kyle Lowry and Pascal Siakam went wild. So a 121-114 7-point loss for the Lakers last night has them on the 2-game losing streak since LeBron James has been back. And now they're number 7th in the Western Conference. And now for the Raptors, still kind of, big out here, 2.5 games back. They did move up from the 12th seed to the 11th seed, leapfrogging the Bulls. So now the Bulls kind of 100% done. So we'll see if the Raptors can kind of make it a little interesting here at the 10-11 with the remaining 8 games left. But we'll see who gets it. Is it going to be Beal and Westbrook, or is it going to be Kyle Lowry, Siakam, and Fred VanVleet? Alrighty. That was the NBA from last night, so let's head over to the action for tonight. Any great nationally televised games on? Hopefully we get some. But here we go. This is what we have tonight. Magic, Pistons, Pacers, Wizards, Warriors, Pelicans, 7:30 on ESPN. That's going to be a great game. Then we get Blazers, Hawks. Ooh, that's going to be a great game too. Gosh dang. 76ers, Bulls, Knicks, Grizzlies. That's going to be a great one. Spurs, Jazz, and then the Lakers back in action tonight. 10 o'clock, ESPN, Nuggets, Lakers. Let's see if LeBron James is playing. I'm assuming he's not. So here we go. Let's refresh these lines. Get the lines up to date and find where the value is. First game up, here we go. Pacers, Wizards. Pacers +4, Wizards -4. For the Pacers, Jeremy Lamb, game time decision. Malcolm Brogdon, game time decision. Miles Turner is out, we know that. Edmund Sumner's a game time decision, and Goga Bitadze is a game time decision as well. For the Wizards, just everybody's good to go. The usual suspects out of Denny Avdija just because he's out for the season. So, Pacers, Wizards. Big implications here in the play-in tournament. The Wizards trying to claw out of the top or the bottom 7 here. Don't think they'll be able to do it, but they could potentially try to get up to that 8th seed to have 2 chances. Try to get up to that 7th seed to have 2 chances. Well, probably not the 7th seed because they are 5.5 games back from that 6.5 games back from that 6th seed and get out of the bottom 7. But they're facing the Pacers. The Pacers are the 9th seed. Wizards are the 10th seed. Wizards are 2.5 games back from this Pacers team at number 9. So huge game here. Wizards just lost, and look at this, we're getting better value right now. Wizards -3.5. So the people are taking the Wizards -4. No, they're taking the Pacers +4. So we're going to go the other way here and take Wizards -3.5. I can count on this Wizards team. They give me their all every single night. They just lost against the Mavericks by 1 point their last game, so they're going to be even extra ready to go here. And like what we say about this Pacers team every single freaking time they play, they are underwhelming as heck, folks. So Wizards -3.5. We're going to rock with Russell Westbrook here. Alrighty, next game up is the Magic and the Pistons. Magic +2, Pistons -2, 2 trash teams. What do we say about that, folks? What do we say, folks? Magic, Terrence Ross is out, James Ennis is out, Otto Porter's out, Michael Carter's out, Jonathan Isaac and Markelle Fultz are obviously out for the season. And then for the Pistons, Wayne Ellington is out, Mason Plumlee's out, Rodney McGruder out, Corey Joseph, Jeremy Grant, Jahlil Okafor, Dennis Smith are all out, and Hamidou Diallo is a game time decision. So 2 trash teams. With everybody being out, we will stay away from it. Alrighty, Warriors and Pelicans. Great game here. Warriors +2.5, Pelicans -2.5. Alrighty, let's see who's all in and out here. Kelly Oubre is out, so that means a Warriors win. Absolutely. Andrew Wiggins is a game time decision. Yikes, they definitely need him in the lineup. Damian Lee is out and Eric Paschal is out. And then for the Pelicans, Steven Adams, a game-time decision. Josh Hart is still out, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker is still out. So the Pelicans' bench is going to be lackluster. This is going to be a good game. Let's see if the Warriors get the win here. Huge game for both of these teams in the Western Conference. Warriors just moved up to that 9th seed. They were the 10th seed. And the Pelicans are still 2.5 games back from that 10th seed for the play-in tournament. So huge game here for both teams to kind of stay or get into the play-in tournament. Gonna stay away from it. Can't really figure out what this Warriors team is gonna do, especially with Andrew Wiggins being the game time decision. He's consistent 15+ points, and there's really no depth here of this Warriors team to kind of make up for that contribution if he's not able to go. So we're gonna stay away from Warriors Pelicans. We'll just watch it since it's on ESPN tonight. Alrighty, next game up, Blazers Hawks here. Blazers plus 2.5, Hawks minus 2.5. Everybody's good to go for the Blazers, and Bogdanovich is a game time decision for the Hawks, and Cam Reddish is out. So basically, both teams are good to go here, but Bogdanovich being a game time decision, I mean, we know we get great point contributions here by that man, getting us those 20 plus points that we desperately need every single night here. So this is going to be a great game, a true test of this Blazers team, if they are in fact pretenders again or contenders again. We've seen both. We've seen them be contenders in the first half of the season, pretenders ever since they've all gotten fully healthy with Nurkic and McCollum. But let's see what they can do here against a really good Hawks team with everybody good to go. Trae Young's good to go. So we're going to stay away from it. No real great value here. Close game. And this Blazers team is on a 4-game win streak. We don't know when it's going to come crashing down to a halt. So we'll stay away from Blazers Hawks. Alrighty, next game. Oh my goodness, tough spreads here. Tight spreads here. Knicks, Grizzlies. Knicks plus 3, Grizzlies minus 3. For the Knicks, Nerlens Noel is the game time decision. Alec Burks is the game time decision. And then for the Grizzlies, just Grayson Allen is a game time decision. So we'll see this game. Gonna be a good one. Knicks always keeps the games close, though. They never get blown out. They blow out the bad teams. This Grizzlies team's not a bad team. They're about an average, slightly above average team in this league. Knicks keep it close. We'll take the Knicks plus 3 here. We'll take the points. They are on a back-to-back, which is nothing great. Not great. But it was the Rockets last night. Was that even a game? Did you even have to show up? And then for the Grizzlies, their last meeting, they just lost against the Magic. So we'll take the points here with the Knicks because they keep it close, and we know they can win this game. This is not a non-winnable game for the Knicks. No way. This is a winnable game for them. So we'll take the 3 points here for the Knicks. Alrighty, next game up, 76ers and the Bulls. 76ers minus 5, Bulls plus 5. Alrighty. Everybody's good to go for the 76ers. Fantastic. They are on a back-to-back, though, which, isn't the greatest. And then for the Bulls, Vucevic, a game-time decision. Zach LaVine, game-time decision. Can he finally get it done? Come back from the COVID-19 protocols. Let's see if we get any updated information on Zach LaVine here on NBA Fantasy Labs Twitter page. Come on, Zach LaVine. We need you back. This Bulls team, if you want to try to get in that top 10, you got to come back right now. Right now. No information, it's looking like. Darn it. Darn it. Let's see if I can get any. Oh, he's listed as doubtful for Monday. Alrighty, so probably not yet. Probably not yet. Darn it. Darn it. Alrighty. Alrighty, 76ers and Bulls. We're going to have to stay away from this one. Let's see how the 76ers do on the back-to-back. Let's see how the Bulls do when their back is truly now against the wall. 3 games out from that 10th seed. The Raptors just jumped over you. This is a must-win game for the Bulls, and I really can't even trust them with 5 points here, folks. So we definitely are going to have to stay away from this game as well, unfortunately. Alrighty, last 2 games. Here we go. Spurs, Jazz. Spurs plus 7.5. Jazz minus 11 or 7.5. Alrighty. For the Spurs, DeJounte Murray is a game time decision. Trey Lyles is a game time decision. And then for the Jazz, Mike Conley and Donovan Mitchell are both out. So once again, we're a little nervous on this Jazz team without their main starters, their lifeblood. Who's going to pick up the scoring? Who's going to have that urgency on the floor? And then for the Spurs, I mean, we just bet against them last night, and it bit us in the butt. We had the 76ers minus 6, and that was looking real good until they got outscored by the Spurs by 10 points in the fourth quarter. So can't really bet against the Spurs ever. They will always close it out. They keep games close most of the time. So we're going to have to stay away from Spurs Jazz. Don't trust the Jazz minus 7.5, and I don't trust the Spurs plus 7.5. It's just I know that the Spurs are a little bit of this mystery team to us. We really don't know what they are, and we've been looking at them the entire season. This happened to us last season in the bubble. What was the team though? I can't remember. What was the team that we were having question marks on? Can't remember, but it happens every season, folks. We get a good kind of understanding of basically every team except this one mystery team, and this Spurs team is that mystery team this season. Alrighty, and then the last game of the night, the Nuggets and the Lakers. Nuggets -3.5, Lakers +3.5. I'm taking that Nuggets team all day. Let's see who's in and out though, before we make our official selection. Will Barton is out, Monte Morris is out, and Zeke Naji is a game-time decision. And then for the Lakers, LeBron James, a game-time decision. Jared Dudley is out, and Dennis Schroeder is out. Alrighty, well, both of these teams aren't going to have that great of a bench. Nuggets, no Monte Morris, no Will Barton. No Dennis Schroeder, so now, Alex Caruso is going to have to be a starting point guard again. LeBron James probably isn't going to play. I'm assuming he's not going to play, of those quotes that we just heard. Oh, I came back a little too early, blibbity bloop. So I'm going to take the Nuggets -3.5 here. They've been impressing us every single game. We just moved them up to number 1 in our power rankings, even though they lost Jamal Murray, Facundo Campazzo. He's going to absolutely destroy Alex Caruso head-to-head at the starting point guard position. And no trouble. So how is Jokic gonna do down low? Well, I think he's gonna eat. The MVP's got to eat. No, so we're gonna take the Nuggets -3.5 here to kind of round out our moneymaker. So this is what we're rocking with tonight. Wizards -3.5, Knicks +3, Nuggets -3.5. Feeling good. Alrighty, now let's head over to our NFL segment of today, where we are grading the team's draft performances. We're taking it division by division. Just did the AFC East yesterday. The Jets getting an A+ in our book, the only A+ that we've gotten so far, but we've only looked at 4 teams so far in the AFC East. So today we are doing the AFC North, the Ravens, the Bengals, the Steelers, the Browns, grading their performances. And then once, we've gotten every team's performance graded, then we'll talk about who actually won the draft, and we will crown an official winner. But we got to kind of look at all the teams first. So let's start here with the Ravens. Where are they at? Should be right here. Yep. All right, here we go. All right, Ravens, here we go. What did they do in the draft? First round pick. Well, they went and got a wide receiver, Rashaad Bateman. Fantastic. That's what they need, the deep threat kind of wide receiver. And when we kind of were looking at the overall draft of kind of when they picked, when we were doing our live draft show, they made the right decision. I mean, they were going at 27, and we knew kind of the Saints were looking at a potential wide receiver. We knew the Green Bay Packers were potentially looking at another wide receiver, maybe even the Bills, who knows. But the Ravens, they had 2 first-round picks, the Chiefs' first-round pick, their own first-round pick. So with their first pick, they choose the wide receiver. And then we thought they would go offensive lineman at number 31 because they just lost Orlando Brown, but they decided to go linebacker instead a little bit there. So a little interesting there, but we do like Rashaad Bateman with their first pick wide receiver. We thought that was great. Another kind of tall wide receiver, 6 foot. They brought in Sammy Watkins. He's 6'1", but we know he hasn't really been that great ever in his career. Really kind of floundered. Besides that, I think maybe 2 years. I think he had a decent first 2 seasons and really kind of floundered after that. But then in their second pick in the first round, they get Odafe Owe, outside linebacker. Third round, they go guard, so they show up their line with the third pick. Once again, no need to kind of overreach for offensive line talent in this year's draft. Third round pick again, they got Brandon Steffens, corner. Then in the fourth round, they get Tylan Wallace, a wide receiver, but he's only 5'11". We want deep down the field wide receiver. So I was looking kind of like for a 6'3" wide receiver to get taken in this draft. There was Semi Fayoko available to the fourth round, so don't really get the Tylan Wallace pick of 5'11". I mean, Semi Fayoki's 6'3", folks. Big. We'll go up and get it. Then in the fifth round, they get Sean Wade, corner. Then they get Dalen Harris, defensive end, and Ben Mason in the fifth round, a fullback. So Ravens here, they didn't have too many needs. Let's get a surefire wide receiver. They did it, and let's kind of shore up our offensive line a little bit. Maybe they could have done it a little bit more, only took one offensive lineman and then try to shore up their defense a little bit more. But the Ravens didn't have too big of needs. Just needed to get that wide receiver. They did that with the first pick. And like we said, the lineman at the third round, pretty good pick as well. So we're going to grade this one a solid B here for the Ravens. Basically got everything they needed in the first 3 picks. And let's see if everything pans out. But they got some nice weapons out there. Rashaad Bateman should be should be good. We do have him ranked as kind of the, was it the 5th or the 4th? What do we got? Rashaad Bateman is the 4th kind of graded wide receiver on our big board. Maybe number 5, because we did forget to put Kadarius Toney on this list. Let's put him on the list. I forgot about that, man. So let me put Kadarius Toney on this list very quickly. I'm going to put Kadarius Toney at number 4. I loved what we saw from him. Fantastic. Alrighty, so Rashaad Bateman's basically the 5th best wide receiver in this draft. All right, so solid B here for the Ravens. Let's see how it all pans out this season. But for just kind of what they needed, they went out and got that in the first 3 rounds. Alrighty, next team up is the Bengals. Alrighty, first pick, 5th pick overall. They go get Jamar Chase, a weapon for Joe Burrow. Reunite the two. Fantastic pick. He's not my number 1 graded wide receiver. We had Devontae Smith, then Jamar Chase, and then Jaylen Waddle. But Jamar Chase, I mean, he's got history with Joe Burrow, so I understand the pick 100%. Then they went and got an offensive tackle 2nd round, shoring up your line. Don't want to see Joe Burrow injured again, so fantastic there. Then they get a nice defensive edge rusher. They pick a defensive edge rusher in the 3rd round and in the 4th round, like what we saw with the Bills. Their 1st round pick was a defensive end. Their 2nd round pick was a defensive end, so we're seeing back-to-back defensive ends taken. Alrighty. Then they went and get a defensive tackle in the 4th round, Tyler Shelvin. Also in the 4th round, they get Deontay Smith, offensive tackle, so 2 offensive linemen. And still in the 4th round, that's still decent, you know. So we'll take that. Then in the 5th round, they get the place kicker. 6th round, they get a center. 6th round, they get Chris Evans, a running back. Not really any great running back depth in this league. And they've already got, what they got? What are they working with at running back? What did the Bengals got? Joe Mixon, what did he rush? He got 1,000 yards last season? 428. What happened to him? He played all 16 games? Why did Joe Mixon not get 1,000 yards? What's up with that? He didn't play that many games. All right. That's why. That's understandable. We can understand that then. All righty, come on ESPN. Let's back. We were trying to go back here. Thank you. Alrighty, so maybe could have gotten a running back here, but like we said, there's nothing really great in this draft. If you weren't getting Travis Etienne or Najee Harris, it really was, you weren't getting anything great running back wise. But we'll see if Chris Evans kind of pans out, a 6th round pick. What did he do? He's 5'11". Alrighty, from Michigan. Alrighty. So overall, we're going to grade this Bengals draft B+. You went out and got, a weapon for Joe Burrow. You lost A.J. Green. Let's go and get Jamar Chase. Now, this Bengals team already has great wide receivers. Don't get us wrong. Tyler Boyd, T. Higgins. T. Higgins, the big wide receiver. Tyler Boyd, the big wide receiver. They're both 6'1 plus. No? Tyler Boyd, 6'2. Yes, sir. T. Higgins, 6'4". So, yes, Jamar Chase, he's not that tall. He's not that big. He's more of a kind of finesse receiver out there. He's still 6 foot, which is, decent. I want my receivers like 6'2" and above, but, that's just me. But, yeah, Jamar Chase, great wide receiver here. Should be good. Little bit of a risk just because he didn't play in 2020, but he paired up with Joe Burrow, so I'm sure they can kind of relive their magic there. And then you shore up the offensive line with that 2nd pick, and then just shore up your, defensive ends in the 3rd round, 2nd round, in the 3rd round, 4th round, geez. So, yeah, I've got no problem with this draft. Think they got basically everything they needed. Didn't overreach for the kind of, offensive lineman. Got the weapon. Protect Joe Burrow. So, a solid B+ here for the Bengals. Alrighty, next team up is the Steelers. And fantastic draft here. Yes, sir. Alrighty, round 1, pick number 24, Najee Harris, running back. Absolutely fantastic. One of the best steals of the night, honestly. The Steelers, all they needed is a wide receiver. They're basically good everywhere else. So Najee Harris, he's our number 1 graded running back in this draft class. So they went out and got him. Fantastic home run pick. The 2nd pick here, Pat Freiermuth. Tight end, it's a good pick because we know Big Ben, his arm's going to be a little lackluster. So you get Najee Harris to support Big Ben with the running game. You get the tight end for a nice little check down for Big Ben. And he's a nice 6'5" tight end out here. So nice tall receiver to go to. Nice tall weapon to go to at the tight end position. So I like that. Then you go and get a center in the third round to replace Marquise Pouncey. Fantastic. So your first couple of picks here, and then in the fourth round, they get another offensive tackle in Dan Moore Jr. So very well done. And then in the fourth round, you go and get that linebacker, exactly what you need, because that's kind of, the worst spot defensively. You've got TJ Watt. You've got, that can kind of, and Cameron Hayward that can, still play running back and rush the passer too. You get Joe Hayden at the corner, Terrell Edmonds, Minkah Fitzpatrick, Cameron Sutton. So you got nice corners. You got nice edge rushers, really just kind of missing a linebacker, and they went out and drafted him in the fourth round. So, if he pans out, that's fantastic. So I love what they did here. And then we could talk about the 5th, 6th, and 7th round here. 5th round, Isaiah Loudermilk. Loudermilk? Is that really it? This man's name is Isaiah Loudermilk. He don't even got a picture. He's got good size but short arms. Loudermilk can't even drink his own milk. It's like a T-Rex, can't reach the glass to his mouth. Alrighty, well, you get Isaiah Loudermilk at defensive tackle. 6th round, Quincy Roche, outside linebacker. Round 7, you get Trey Norwood, corner. And then the 7th round, Presley Harvin, the 3rd, you get a punter. So absolutely love this draft for the Steelers. Going to call it an A, man, an A. You get the running back, help out Big Ben with the kind of offensive production. You get the tight end for Big Ben when he has to throw the ball. Nice little check down if they need it. Also can throw the ball to Najee Harris. He's a great kind of catcher of the football out of the backfield. Fantastic. And he's 6'2", so got to give it 6'2" or 6'3". Am I bugging? Oh, they got him listed at 6'1". No. He's 6'2", folks. Don't let them trick you. Nah, he's 6'2". I can't believe they disrespected that man, putting him at 6'1". But a nice kind of catcher of the ball out of the backfield as well. And then Kendrick Green at the center position, shoring up their offensive line since you just lost that. So absolutely well done here for the Steelers. Got everything they needed to help out the offensive production. The defense was fine. Shore that up in the 4th round with the inside linebacker of Buddy Johnson. And now we're talking. So Steelers really kind of shored up everything they needed with some great pieces here. We're going to give them an A. Fantastic. All right, and then the last team in the AFC North is the Browns. All righty, no real needs offensively here. So the first round, they go Greg Newsome. Unfortunately here, our kind of worst graded corner of kind of the big names here of Patrick Surtain, J.C. Horn, Caleb Farley, Asante Samuel Jr., and Greg Newsome. Unfortunately for the Browns, they wanted to go corner, and everybody was drafting corners in this draft. We see J.C. Horn getting taken by the Panthers first round. Patrick Surtain getting taken. Corners here. And then we got Caleb Farley by the Titans. So, 3 great corners taken off the board before the Browns go and pick. So they kind of got, the leftovers a little bit, but he's still a good weapon out here. We're not disrespecting Greg Newsome. But this was the steal of the draft. In the 2nd round, they get Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, linebacker from Notre Dame. We absolutely love Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He is our first graded linebacker, and he went in the 2nd round. An absolute steal here for the Browns. I mean, look how many linebackers were taken over him in the 1st round. We got Micah Parsons taken before Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. Then we got Zaven Collins taken above him in the 1st round. Then we get Jamin Davis taken in the 1st round as well. Then we get Odafe Owe. Then we get Joe Tyrone taken. That's 5 linebackers taken ahead of him in just the 1st round alone. And then let's go to the 2nd round. Any other linebackers taken? We get Azeez Ujulari, which we're still big on as well. We love him. Then finally Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah gets taken. So, 4, 5, 6 linebackers taken ahead of Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, which I think is an absolute home run, kind of a steal pick in the 2nd round. Then in the third round, they get Anthony Schwartz, wide receiver from Auburn. They don't really need a wide receiver, but a nice luxury pick there at the third round. Fourth round, they get James Hudson, offensive tackle. Also in the fourth round, they get Tommy Togaya, defensive tackle. Fifth round, they get Tony Fields, inside linebacker. Also required Richard LeCounte, safety, and then Demetric Felton in the sixth round, a wide receiver as well. So there's really no huge needs for this Browns team. Maybe to shore up their defense a little bit. I mean, offense, they got the quarterback. They got Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, two great running backs. Odell Beckham, Jarvis Landry, Rashard Higgins, Austin Hooper. I mean, so they've got nice wide receiver weapons. Defensively, you got, Myles Garrett and Jadeveon Clowney off the edge. Then they just shore up their linebacking core because they've got decent, safe or corners. They got Denzel Ward, but they bring in Greg Newsome to shore up the other side. And then at the linebacker position, you still got Anthony Walker, but now you got Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So just shoring up their defense. That's what they did in those first two picks. That's really all they needed to do in this draft. Everything else was just basically, all right, who do we think could be good that we can translate to be good? So we're going to give this Browns team a B+. Not too many things to shore up, but they shored up what they needed to. So fantastic there. Alrighty, so the Steelers join the Jets as the only team to get at least an A so far out of the 8 teams that we've done in the AFC East and the AFC North. But alrighty, that's going to do it for us today. We'll be back tomorrow probably grading the AFC South. We'll probably do tomorrow. We'll see how they're looking in their draft and give them grades. Alrighty, folks, so that's going to do it for us today. Let's quickly see if anything was breaking as we were live. Amazon Prime Video to be the exclusive Thursday Night Football home starting in 2022. So, alrighty, I got Amazon Prime. I've got no worries about that. Anything else good? Anything else good? Alrighty. That looks like it's going to do it for us today. Alrighty. We're back tomorrow, folks. Live, noon Eastern. Doing it all again. Alrighty, folks. We're out of here. We will see you tomorrow. Live, noon Eastern. Like always. It ain't changed over here. Alrighty, folks.